Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Modern Mystic Radio Show on A1R Psychic Radio, the world's #1 psychic radio network, and Moonstruck TV. My name is Mystic Saira. I'm going to be with you for the next half an hour. I will be taking a couple of callers, and here I'll be doing mini readings, probably about 10 minutes each, covering any area that you want me to look at. So I can look at house moves, I can look at any spiritual stuff, spiritual development, soul growth, lessons that you're learning. Is love going to come in? I'm known as the soulmate psychic, so I can look at soulmates and twin flames, and I'll go on to that in a little bit more detail in a moment, because my topic for today is, it's actually two things. I want to talk about what's going on up there, up in the sky. So we've got two things going on at the moment. We have a solar storm, so the sun's playing up, and we have a full moon in Scorpio coming up this weekend on Saturday, I believe. So plenty of emotional stuff to be aware of. So let's talk about the solar storm to start off with. Okay, so it's not going to affect us physically. We're not going to burn up or anything like that, but there's a lot of activity in the sun at the moment, and that can be affecting us in many different ways. Okay, so not just on the emotional side, which I'll go into in a moment, but also on perhaps the physical side, maybe feeling out of sorts, edgy, anxious, and also electrical equipment as well. So you may be mistaken and thinking this might be a Mercury retrograde moment, but it's not. It's the sun this time. So what are the things to sort of look out for? So like I said, feeling on edge, having our sleep routines disturbed, wacky dreams, not being able to sleep very well, waking up incredibly early or not getting back to sleep very well. Also stressing over past mistakes, so going back into the past. It can be a bit of an emotional journey. So what I'm finding with this solar storm is that it's impacting people in different kinds of ways. So it may be more the emotional stuff, if that's what needs clearing for you, or maybe more the mental stuff, or maybe you are just, it's all the electrical stuff, maybe you're blowing everything up. Now let's also look at the Scorpio moon. That's this Saturday. So again, it's hitting us on the emotional side. So let's have a look at Scorpio. Now traditionally, Scorpio deals with hidden things. So what is it that you've got buried within? Okay, and also Scorpio is a very emotional sign, also a very psychic sign as well. So again, you might be finding that your dreams are really poignant at the moment. Perhaps you've dreamt of somebody that's in your past. What is it that you've actually buried deep within? What emotional wounds need to come up for healing? This is the lesson really that Scorpio moon wants to give us at this time. So don't be afraid of it. If it comes up, just let those tears flow, or whatever the emotion is, just let it flow, get rid of it and allow yourself to heal it, because that's the whole purpose of these full moons, is to actually let things go. Now, if you want to look at the positive side of what can you actually be using this full moon for, you know, what is the productive nature of it? Well, you can use that to perhaps enhance your own psychic abilities, or heal issues that from the past, or heal blocks. Maybe you've got a hidden block and you don't know what it is, but you want that to be healed. Also, looking at Scorpio, there's a very strong sort of sexual component with it. So if it is the fact that you want to attract a strong, powerful soulmate energy, then Scorpio moon might be the key to work with. So if you want to get involved with that, that's this Saturday. All you need to do if you want to work with these moons is to light a candle, set your intentions, really go with your visualization and positive thought as well. So this is just about spending a few minutes with that moon energy, trying to manifest things in for you. Okay, so let's go on to our first caller, and we have Ashley, who's in Providence, Rhode Island, USA. Ashley, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. And thank you for joining me on the show. Do you have a question for me to look at for you tonight?
Yes, I'm trying to connect with my mother-in-law who passed.
Okay, did you say your mother or
any of my loved ones who passed.
Okay, but in particular, did you say your mother or mother-in-law? I didn't quite catch that.
Mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law. Okay, so let's just see what I get for you. On this one, I'm just going to pull out a few spirit message cards for you, just to enable me to tune into your energy a little bit more. Right, to be honest with you, I feel that. So with your mother-in-law, see, what I'm feeling here is she's coming across as almost like an equal to your own mother. Does that make sense in your life? Okay, so I feel that you didn't just view her as your in-law, but you actually viewed her and cared for her as you would do your own mother. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what I'm also being shown here is there's like this huge, the word envelope is coming in here. She's enveloping you with all of this energy because it feels very much that you two you had a lot in common. You still have a lot in common in the sense that you're sort of holding everything together. Does that make sense within your family? And I feel that there's been quite a lot of pressure around you in terms of doing that, but you seem to do that really selflessly. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And this is something that I feel that she is helping you with at the moment. She wants to give you the strength and the motivation and her strength, because when I'm being shown this lady, she's showing me a real sense of sort of soldiering on, if that makes sense. So somebody that wouldn't necessarily ever complain or even ask for things. Does that make sense? I feel like she was very resilient and she was always the one that was giving. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, she's relating. Like I said, she's relating to you as as her daughter. I know biologically you weren't, but from her emotional state, this is how she views you. And I feel that she's very grateful for the time that you've spent with her and what you do for the family in general, because she relates to it. It's as though you're two peas in a pod. Now, there's something here. Did she only have boys, or did she just have? I just get boys with her. Does that make sense?
Yep, she had 2 sons and 2 grandchildren, 2 boy grandchildren, one my son and one my nephew.
Okay, because she's referring to the boys, but what she's saying here about you is like you're the daughter she didn't have. Does that make sense?
Yep, she always called me her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, and it comes through with such sort of purity and genuine love for you. There is one thing that I feel she wants you to know, which is, number one, she's grateful for all that you did towards the end of her life. So was there an illness leading up to her departure?
No, well, yes. Mentally. Mentally. I think she just was tired.
Okay. Because I definitely haven't got like a sudden passing, like an instant passing. It feels as though you did your best in terms of trying to make sure she was as well cared for as possible. Does that make sense? And I feel that she's giving reference to that to let you know that she was aware of those efforts. Okay.
Okay.
Now she's got absolute faith in you. I absolutely love her, because what she's saying here is just take good care of my boys.
Yeah, she was really, really close with my son.
Yeah. Has your son? Because I feel, has your son seen her at all? Has she been around? Has he dreamt of her?
He had one dream of her outside of my house.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry. He had 2 dreams of her with her.
Okay, since she passed away, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, because there is a very special bond between those two, and I feel that she's kind of come in to show him in particular, because I feel like he was really struggling with the loss, if that makes sense, with because what I'm getting here is like losing her, but in many different ways. So not just the departure, but also the the mental state as well. Okay, I feel that this is something that he perhaps hasn't particularly shared, because I get him sort of holding this on his shoulders. But I feel that she's come in to show him that she's okay, she's well, and in a sense, back to normal, back to how she would like him to remember her. Does that make sense to you? Because that's really important for her, is that she doesn't want anyone to really think about how she was towards the end. She would like all of you to... it's a celebration. She's going on about a celebration. Is there some sort of memorial or something coming up here?
My son's birthday.
Okay. She's giving reference to that for you, okay? So I feel like she's there, she's aware, and she'll be with you on that day as well. Okay, is there anything else you would like to ask?
No, just signs, more signs. If the signs are like, just want more signs that, what
you want more signs? What should you be looking for? Right. I'm just pulling out a couple of cards, and what I'm actually being shown here is again dreams. So before you go to sleep at night, just ask Spirit, whether it's your mother-in-law or whether it's someone else that you want to connect with, to give you some sort of sign that you're on the right track, or some sort of message, okay, for you. I feel that once you start allowing them to connect, because really the secret to any of that is to just ask. Now, that sign might not necessarily come in at that moment. It might come in a day or so afterwards, but I feel that you will get them when you do ask. It's just about being open enough to pay attention. It's about paying attention to what's going on around you. So there may very well be a song that resonates with you, or a name, or seeing 1111, repeating numbers all the time, or a feather dropping. But what I'm getting here mostly for you is actually dreams. I feel like you're very strong. You're very intuitive. And she is as well. She's got a very strong spirit and a very strong energy. The feeling that I get with her is that she hasn't actually been gone for a huge amount of time, but she's still coming through in what I feel is quite an eloquent and strong way, which really indicates to me that she's very happy in spirit now.
A feather dropped at my tire when I walked out from work. There was a hawk's feather on my tire.
Oh wow! Oh, you got a big feather.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was her or my grandmother. So it's great to know. It really is. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You take care.
Thank you, too.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, let's go on to my next caller. And we have Gaynor, who is from Manchester in England. Hi, Gaynor. Can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can hear you.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you. You?
Yes, I'm really well, thank you. You're not too far from me in Manchester, so it's nice to speak to somebody local. So what would you like me to look at for you today?
The future, please.
Right, yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to just shuffle some cards for you, and let's just see what we have coming up for you. Right. So was the last year quite difficult for you?
Yeah.
Because what I'm being shown here is like being brought down to your knees, or feeling like you're being brought down to your knees with so really big challenges. This is what I'm being shown for you in your past, and certainly over the last year. Now, there's something here about needing to change direction. And I feel as though you're virtually on the edge of that. So when we look at those challenges that you've had, like I said, I feel like they're really big, as though you've really changed your opinion on life in general, okay? And I feel that you've made some really big decisions that, from now on, you're not going to live for other people's needs only. You're going to start putting yourself first. And I feel that it's been really difficult. It's like you've had to put your life on hold. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Yeah, you've had to put your life and your hopes and your dreams all on hold. But this year I feel like you're stepping more towards your true self, okay, more towards your true life purpose than you've ever been before, okay. There's also a feeling here of being really let down. And I feel like this is in relation to one specific person. Again, I feel like my energy is drawing back towards the past with this. So this is a significant person that there's a very strong attachment to. So this could be, a relationship, or it might even be a family member. But I feel that disappointment is actually, you've felt very much on your own. Does that make sense? As though you've had to, carry everything and all on your own without any help. Now, what I'm being shown here for you is this is where everything starts to really turn around for you. So have you been thinking about moving as well?
My daughter's just moved out.
Okay, so you've got a change of energy in the home.
Yeah. No, okay, I don't want to move from my home.
Okay, so were you thinking of perhaps redoing the inside then?
Yeah, there's some work to be done to be finished actually.
Yeah, because I feel like I've got you. It's like you're setting the scene, setting the vibration of how you want to live, and it feels very peaceful. It feels very tranquil, and I feel like I have got you getting it done. And in turn, it feels like it's changing the energy it's around you, and it's bringing new things back into your life. Okay, you've had a really, really tough time last year, and I feel that. In many respects, you felt like throwing in the towel, like throwing everything up in the air, saying, that's it, I've had enough. Now, I feel that this year is actually where you feel that you're being rewarded for all of the hard work that you've put in. There's something here about not feeling appreciated that's really, really strong with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm being shown here this change of direction, I am being drawn towards the work side of it. So are you thinking of changing your job then? Because I get work coming in, or something that you are devoting your time to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I can't work because of my health issues.
Okay, so is there something you're thinking of wanting to take up? Okay, because like I said, I feel that we've got this change of direction with you. I mean, within the cards it will reflect as work, but if you're not working and not in the position to work, it generally means how you are filling your time, okay? And this is where I'm seeing the change of directions. You're going to be doing a lot more for yourself than you have done in a long, long time. I also want to say that the relationships that have caused you the most sort of disappointment or pain, they will heal themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I'm saying this, it's giving me more the impression that we're talking about every other kind of relationship other than the romantic one at the moment. Okay, and it's those relationships that we're kind of stuck with, our family, our friends, that I feel that this is being referred to. So what you're being told here by my guides is that, it's like, don't put any effort into it. Okay, give some space to these people and they will reach their own conclusions and it will heal itself. So things are excuse me, going to improve for you. But it's all affecting and impacting your personal life at the moment. Okay, anything outside of that will be sorted out over a period of time. But your specific aim and objective of this year is to get you where you need to be. Because I'm getting here that you're quite spiritual as well. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I'm learning.
Okay. Well, maybe this is what I was saying about you, what you're spending your time doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel, and like I said, the energy that I was getting is like stepping into your life purpose.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a great part of it. So something that pulls your soul towards it. Let me just have another look here. So when I'm looking at this, there's also a relationship that's being flagged up here. Well, it's actually a couple. That's what I'm being shown. So are you in a relationship now?
No.
There's somebody else coming in there for you. Okay. I feel that when I'm looking at your previous relationship or your major relationship, there was a lot that needed to be cleared from that one. And I feel in many respects it's put you off for quite some time. You had to take a bit of a time out from relationships. But there is, because this is one of the things that I feel you've been sort of processing and thinking about over the past few months is, well, is this it for me? Okay. And, looking at all of your life. So looking at your point to where you were a few months ago and where you are now, the answer to that is no, absolutely not. There's a lot more to come. Okay. Loads. And one of those things is a relationship. Totally different to what you had before, which I think is a good thing. This is somebody that is gentle and kind and considerate and thoughtful and genuinely cares about you,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And this I feel is coming in over around August time, so late summer for you.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's all part and parcel of all the new things that you're learning at the moment. And what I would like to say with that is that in terms of the spiritual work, this is something that you are good at. Okay, and this is something that you are meant to do. I feel like it's written into your life purpose. But, for some people, they need to go through life's challenges. And then the spiritual side will come in, okay, at a later date. Yeah. And this is what I'm getting here with you. You've had to go through all of your learning experiences, and now this is your time. Okay, so you're coming into your time. This is where I'm getting this whole change of direction coming in, which I feel is going to be absolutely beautiful. And I do feel that it's not just going to affect your love life and your home life and things like that. But, how you feel, in a more sort of physical sense as well. So feeling more energetic, rejuvenated, and, dare I say it, having more strength as well. Okay. Now, my throat seems to be playing up a little bit, which sometimes is my indication that there's somebody around you, spirit-wise, that you didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye to. Does that make sense to you at all?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because my feeling with, let's see what I get with this. Whoa, I'm getting like breathing difficulties as well with them. So I want to say they must have passed really quickly. I am being drawn towards the chest, the heart and the lungs in particular. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. They want you to know that the fact that these words were never expressed in life, that they were proud to be a part of your life. And you're never to forget that. And that I feel that what has lacked from the relationship in life was the expression of love and real meaning, and how much you did mean to them. And that's something that they're taking the opportunity right now to rectify, okay? So I feel that it's not necessary to have the goodbye, which is what I was feeling with the throat. I feel like they wanted to say things to you as well, okay? And they're taking this opportunity to give that to you right now. Okay, I better leave it there because my show has come to a close. So thank you so much for coming through to me.
Thank you ever so much. It's wonderful, that.
Oh, thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. And off she goes. So if you do want a private reading with me, you know what to do. Get me on my website on www.modern-mystic.co.uk. or on Facebook under Mystic Sarah and Modern Mystic. So goodbye for now, and I'll see you the same time next week.